Apex Legends Season 17 is among us. Insert joke using the word sus, followed by laughter, ha 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 ha. So I am revisiting the topic of one of my first videos on this channel, as well as a more recent one, and ramble on about issues with controller inputs that Respawn Entertainment is ignoring, and has been ignoring for years. First, the Sheila Reload issue. After placing down Sheila as a stationary gun, you can reload her as often as you wish. This is, unless you are using hold to reload. When using hold to reload, /tap to use, the game has many inconsistencies that do not follow the rule stated in the name of this setting. One of these inconsistencies is that the action of exiting Sheila is still, sadly, bound to holding the interact/reload button. So we are now in a situation where holding down the button is at the same time reloading and exiting Sheila. As you can see on the controller overlay on the left, simply tapping reload does nothing, when it would normally reload the turret. But notice that I am also not exiting the turret, which I should be able to by tapping the button, since the setting explicitly states that tapping the button is quote-unquote use, so tapping should. If this setting were to be consistent across the board, let me exit. Now watch what happens if I, quote, hold to reload. And here, how it is supposed to work, holding reloads. The really sad part is, this was not always an issue. This issue started to appear in a patch in early 2021. Before said patch broke it, you could actually hold to reload Sheila, and tap to exit Sheila. Number 2, the D-pad down prompts. From time to time, the game will give you the option to use an emote, a voice line, or notify your team of semi-important information, like whenever your ultimate is ready. There it is. Handy little function, isn't it? At first glance, yes, but did you notice the issue? There we see the issue. My drone was out, all vulnerable and lonely, just begging to be shot down by enemy players. Well, if we were in a match, of course. And how do you call your drone back? Exactly, by pressing D-pad down. So, in a situation where you are in the heat of the battle, every move counts, and you want to recall your drone to save it from enemy gunfire, the game can just throw a wrench in your gears and not only delay your ability to recall your drone, but also make you trip up and maybe not realize that you didn't recall the drone, and instead simply triggered the ultimate ready voice clip. This is also of course an issue with other legends that use D-pad down for certain functions, like in this example with Mirage, where the prompt gets in the way of me changing my dummy into control mode. Respawn needs to remove this, maybe replace it with an option in the ping wheel. Thankfully, starting with Season 17, they will remove the D-pad down prompt that appears after you kill a player, which was also a horrible idea from the start. But in my opinion this doesn't go far enough, as any of these automatic D-pad down prompts are basically just useless, and as we've seen here, can get in the way of your gameplay. Issue 3, inspecting your weapons with auto sprint enabled. In Apex Legends, you can, under normal circumstances, inspect your weapon while you sprint, which is especially crucial because inspecting your weapon is also how you trigger the special animations of your heirloom. But ever since auto sprint was introduced, during the first year of Apex, you were unable to inspect your weapons while using auto sprint. This issue has since been not even once addressed by Respawn Entertainment, and seems to be wholly ignored by them. Here you see me sprinting manually, with auto sprint disabled, which lets me inspect my weapon without any issue. And now I will enable auto sprint. As you can see, nothing happens. The selection wheel simply disappears as if you didn't select anything, and the weapon inspect animation does not trigger. Of course, whenever you are not sprinting, you can still inspect your weapons, which is something I guess, but weapon inspections are the perfect thing to do while you're bored during a long rotation to your next position. This setting however makes this use case impossible. Number 4, Max Turn Speed. The highest available turn speed in Apex Legends is decent enough, but I bet there are many players that would love to turn this even higher. Even with the highest turn speed and the highest extra speed added on top, the speed is still relatively slow to what other games offer to their players. This wouldn't even be that weird on its own, but while the normal turn speed is limited like this, for some reason, the developers will totally allow you to ramp up the aim speed while aiming down various sights to such an extreme degree, that no one in their right mind would ever use speeds as high as that. So why is it that my normal turn speed is arbitrarily locked to the current maximum, while going into the sight sensitivity settings will allow me to turn into a human Beyblade? Issue number 5, the map ping bug. This bug first reared its ugly head around the same time that the Sheila Reload issue first happened. Depending on your button mapping, you will not be able to ping anything on the map. This includes death boxes that Ash can see and inform her team about. I personally instantly noticed this issue the day it was introduced, since my button layout is affected by this bug. This right here is my button layout. As you can see, I have ping bound to the left stick. Since I use auto sprint, this easy to reach button was no longer occupied. Notice how I can ping normally while walking around. But as soon as I try to ping the map, nothing happens, neither by pressing the left stick, nor by pressing the right bumper, which is the default setting, and which the game tells me to use right here. Let's try a few of the other buttons and see if it works with those. B cannot be bound to ping whatsoever. Let's try the X button. That one it does let me use. Also notice how it says right here that RB is supposed to still work as your map ping button. Nope, X also does not work. Neither does A. Also a no for the Y button. Left trigger also a clear no. A negative for the left bumper too. Right trigger also no. Right stick is a negative. D-pad up maybe. Negative. D-pad down also doesn't work. Basically no other button worked. But then I tried something different, and the results were surprising and mysterious. As you can see here, I reset my button mapping to the default setting. So far so unremarkable. Then I tried different combinations to see what happens. At the beginning nothing really changed, the buttons still would not work. But then I tried something weird, and the results of that were even weirder. And the weird thing I tried is this right here. Yes, you are seeing this correctly. I tried binding jump to the view button, the one with the two square things. And as soon as I did that, suddenly buttons that did not work when I previously tested them started to work as a ping button on the map screen. I have absolutely no idea what is happening here, but as you can see, even though my ping is bound to the A button, which previously prevented me from pinging the map, now works. My right bumper works normally as the ping button on the map while ping is bound to A. And the tooltip telling you to use the right bumper is now telling you the truth. I then tried around, for example binding the Mac button to D-pad right, and everything still worked. And then the moment of truth. I bound the ping button to the left stick, which I have it bound to on my usual configuration. And I was in shock. Suddenly I am able to ping the Mac with the right bumper, while ping is bound to the left stick, exactly the way it is supposed to work. Which must mean that depending on other factors and other button mappings, every Mac ping button will be blocked, and only if you have other actions bound to buttons that do not randomly interfere does pinging on the Mac work. Respawn, please, I beg you, look into this. This is ridiculous. So here are my 5 controller issues that Respawn has ignored for years, and in my opinion should have been addressed a long time ago, but it's never too late. Respawn. In the description and in the card on the top right of the video, I have 2 more changes I would love to see, for which I made a full video a while ago. That video is all about how to change and fix reloading overlapping with the use function, and about how looting while moving on controller should be implemented. I used Steam's controller configuration to demonstrate how those things can work really well on controller, so if you are interested click on the first link in the description. Like and subscribe and stuff, you know how YouTube works.